whatever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar.
Dollars. What's up, everybody? The Gritty Gamblers are back in the building. How you doing,
ready to
man?
run
How
the
you
block
doing?
again, Parlay, man? I'm doing good. How you doing on this Memorial Day?
Hey, we're doing good today. Last week was not good, but we started off the week hitting a parlay, so that is great news.
Oh, let them know what the parlay that you hit.
All right. I got you. We had, it's not on this book, my bad. Brewers, Toronto Blue Jays, and the Kansas City Royals plus 1.5 for a plus 400 round there parlay. So that's
Good. Okay. I see you, Parlay Joe. Memorial Day early hit. Okay.
yes, sir.
All right, so let's get
What
into this
about
recap.
you?
I didn't really have too much over the weekend. That was too big. I also didn't really bet too much. Yeah, the main thing was the I did have the Oilers beating the Stars in the last game that they played. But just overall looking into the recap this weekend, just to cover it, well, let's look at the NBA series. I mean, both the NBA series are looking like they're 3-0 sweeps right now. Both the Indiana Pacers and the Timberwolves will be picking up broomsticks maybe probably soon. It's not looking fun for either of them. But one thing I'll tell you is that Celtics Mavs series. Do they have a future on that yet? Have you seen that anywhere?
Celtics, Mavs?
Yeah,
No, but everyone's like,
on the Celtics, yeah.
not everyone's already saying that it's gonna happen. So.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm not talking about in terms of a future of them playing each other. I'm talking about what a future series would look like. Do they have it out yet? Like that future type stuff.
They won't be out until they are officially in.
Depends on. Sometimes they do have some of them early. Let me double check. Depending on the book.
Yeah, mine's still normal.
Let me go to NBA.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's right here. Hypothetical matchups. The Celtics are minus 240 to win the series.
Where do you see that?
FanDuel has it for what I'm looking at. You go to NBA, go all the way to the end. It should be finals hypothetical. So I'm gonna be honest with you, the Mavs being almost plus 200 is good value for what they are. I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna win the series, but that's good value if you wanted a plus money type bet. People are thinking that it most likely goes about 6 games if Boston does win it in 6, but you could see the Mavs go and pull some. They have the closers to pull some stuff off and steal some games.
Yeah, I think it's Boston. Unfortunately, I think Boston's gonna win.
You know me.
I would like to see both Dallas teams winning. That would be pretty cool. But
that'd be pretty cool. Everybody but the Cowboys is all I care about.
yeah, everyone but the Cowboys. I agree. Nobody likes the Cowboys unless you're a Cowgirls fan.
Yep, most definitely. But I did want to bring that up just because it's really the quickest way to put a bow on it with both series being so dominant 3-0. I mean, they're not as dominant of games, but each team the Timberwolves and the Pacers cannot close these games when they're ahead. And they're both falling similar situations. I mean, Boston has definitely ran through the Pacers at some point, but they've also had to come back and scrap and got lucky with their last win especially. So I think Boston does close them out. I don't know if we're necessarily gonna have a pick on that game just because of the spread and everything surrounding it, but we'll probably have some picks and sort of like props wise. I think Parlay has some props loaded up, but
yeah, we got
probably
the
won't.
props, and then we can pick some props too if you want to do that.
Yeah, we can save that for a little bit in a second after the recap. But moving over to the NHL, it's a little bit different. You're gonna have, both these series were 1-1 going into Game 3. The Rangers did win Game 3 of their series to go up 2-1 in that series versus the Panthers. The Stars and Oilers play tonight, which is another game we were gonna look at, and it's something interesting because the movement's looking a little weird, as in there really isn't any. So that's something we're gonna highlight a little bit after this.
Yeah, no money being shown.
Yeah, but one thing I'll say is we have been doing pretty well with these props. I know I got the Chuck right yesterday. Parlay got Sam Reinhart scoring right yesterday. We didn't have complete parlays hit on them, but we've been having some of these
Yeah, the
props hit
under.
right correct.
Wait, did the Rangers win?
Yeah, they won. They won.
That was
Yeah, at least I would have hit if the Rangers lost, but nah, like neither of us hit because you had the under.
under got destroyed, bro.
Under got the and like I tried to give you some confidence because I've seen that happen before. Where, bro, game it was the Stars playing somebody and the under was 5.5 and it was 3-2 at the end of the first period and there weren't any goals for the rest of the game. So it depends on the situation.
I knew when they kept scoring. I was like, all right, there's nothing.
It was like 2-2 after the first period.
It was like 1-0, and then all of a sudden I looked up and it was 2-1
Rangers.
I was like, this isn't.
They scored 2 goals in 25 seconds, parlay.
And then they scored a goal, and I was all right, no.
Yeah, then the Panthers tied it up again, bro. To put it in perspective, the Rangers took 6 penalties in the first period or 2, if I'm not mistaken. 6. They took 6 penalties. That's why they gave up multiple power play goals. I mean, they still won the game. More credit to them, but that was it was a good game to watch. It was a shit show at times. And then last, we're gonna start adding this to the recap more, just because Parlay and I have been betting a little bit more. The WNBA has been getting a little wonky in terms of how the teams are playing and stuff like that. Beginning of the season, the Aces and the Liberty were pretty much almost locks in some of their games, but now they're starting to play on the road more and they're starting to get roughed up. Liberty took some licks. The Aces took some licks. The Aces also covered really well at home versus the Fever over the weekend. But shout out to my favorite prop better to bet right now in the WNBA, Aja Wilson, one of the best players in the league, if not the best. My favorite prop to her is you can get her around anywhere from -150 to -190 to get a double-double, and you can add that in a parlay. It's a really good play usually. She's usually getting about 10 to 15 boards a game depending on the situation. So
I like Seattle -3.5 tonight.
who are they playing tonight?
Chicago.
Is that tonight or tomorrow? Oh, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, my bad.
Tomorrow. So Chicago.
Tuesday.
I mean, Seattle, what I've noticed is they brought in a few veterans that have been around the league. Like, they brought in Ogumake, they brought in Skylar Diggins-Smith. So they have a couple players that are, like, vets that can score and play winning basketball.
Yeah, I haven't noticed anyone out from soreness yet either in the WNBA, so no period bets yet, but we're waiting on it.
Oh, my gosh. Parlay don't care. Ooh, I might bet the Fever tomorrow. They got
That's
the
a big
Sparks
spread.
in Indiana.
That's a big spread.
It's moving in their favor.
I don't know about that one.
That's something to follow. That one's something to follow. What do you got anything on Connecticut?
Yeah, probably Connecticut. They're good.
They might trounce Phoenix.
Yeah.
They're at home, so
I would do Connecticut -7.5. Seattle -3.5, and if anything, Fever -6. But I would probably just not.
like
stay
we
on
said,
it.
the WNBA has been wonky, so don't fully trust it right away with some of these plays. But it did start off hot with some of the line movement and tracking early in the season, most definitely. So we'll be following that more, especially because that's going to be one of the main things we'll probably have to cover when we get into some of these summer months for sure with baseball.
And they're about to start being on Prime Network. Like Connecticut Phoenix is going to be on CBS.
CBS Sports.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, it's Sports Network. I don't know
And
what
then-
the U is. What's the U?
Where?
Seattle and Chicago are playing on the U. I've never heard of that.
I haven't heard of that, but I do know that the Sparks and the Fever are playing on NBA TV.
Okay.
So that's pretty big. And then the game on Saturday, the game on Sunday, the Liberty game, that game was on CBS. Oh, the U might be like a local channel for some of the games. I don't know, for one of the teams.
Yeah, I've never heard of the U. I don't know.
Because it shows MSN for the Mystics game, but that's the DC local channel. Monumental Sports Network.
For the Mystics game, I don't even see that there is a
On
Mystics.
Wednesday. On Wednesday.
Oh, I see that it's on Peachtree TV.
Is that what it says for you for the Mystics game?
I don't even know what that is either.
Well, here's the thing though, because it's Atlanta and DC, you might actually
It's
get that
something
channel in
to
your
do with
area.
Atlanta.
But yeah, that's the WNBA. I just wanted to highlight that I like that Asia Wilson prop a lot when I'm betting on the WNBA. Double bet. She's averaging a double one, but she's also almost getting one every game. So that's another thing to look out for. There's not really too much to recap from the fighting. We're gonna have a big UFC coverage starting off today, covering UFC 302, as well as we're gonna cover the big boxing card coming up this weekend, the 5-on-5 5 vs 5 card with the B-ball semi-main, and then the Zhilei Zhang main event at heavyweight. So we do have a bunch of combat sports to cover today too. I did want to give a quick shout out to Manchester United. They did win the Carabao Cup over Manchester City over the weekend as a 7-1 underdog, if I'm not mistaken. Incredible odds for them to win that, and they ended up beating the best team in England, 4-time year league champions in Man City. Great performance from Aaron Taha and their players, and they're probably his last game as coach, but I just had to highlight it because of the odd difference. If someone bet on that and you threw 100 on that, you could have made $800, $700, depending on where you got it at which book. So just some crazy odd change and odd jumping by that game, most definitely.
Nice. So there's a no sweat ticket to use on FanDuel for MLB. And
There's only one game tonight. Are you going to use it for tomorrow, or what are you going to do?
I used it tonight on the Houston Astros.
Okay, what'd you use it on that one? You took Houston?
Yeah, nah, I just took Yordan Alvarez hit, Kyle Tucker hit, Valdez over 5.5 strikeouts, and a Tuve to score.
Okay. So you did it all mostly
That's
Astros.
400. No sweat. I like that one. Oh, what just happened?
Yeah, what was that noise?
Sticky keys.
Oh yeah, so the Padres just scored. So yeah, Padres are up 1-0. I mean 1-1 now because Marlins just scored. Actually, I take that back.
Marlins just scored. Dang.
I did want to highlight it because we haven't talked about it in a while.
Giants up 8-4. That's pretty good.
Shout out to Rafael Nadal, one of the greatest tennis players to ever play the game, man. He unfortunately did end up losing to Alexander Zverev in his tournament.
Sets, right?
Yeah, straight sets earlier today. I'm looking at some of the tennis odds right now, but it is sad. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. He's just clearly not healthy right now, and he's not at the best bet. So it might be time for him to hang it up, most definitely, from Rafa, one of the best.
Nah, it's not time. It's not time yet.
And then baseball-wise, there wasn't any main things I wanted to cover. I did just want to highlight from the weekend. The Dodgers are on a 5-game losing streak, so that is definitely something to look out for. You might have to stay off them. The big test for the Dodgers, in my opinion,
I've been on their 5-game losing streak. It's not fun. They're killing my parlays.
The main thing I would say is tomorrow, look out for whichever game that Glasnow starts versus the Mets, because they do have a doubleheader tomorrow. If Glasnow starts game 1 or game 2, I will probably bet him. That's the last bet. He even lost during the streak, yes, but he is their best pitcher, and he's one of the best pitchers in the league this year so far, in my opinion, with his control and his strikeout ability. So look out for Glasnow in his start when he goes to tomorrow, one of those games versus the Mets. That might be a nice parlay builder, most definitely.
So speaking of parlays, I just found a live boost
For tennis?
for MLB.
Okay.
And I'm going to use it on the Padres since they're down, or since they're tied again.
They're still like minus 200.
Yeah, it is. But I'm going to you can bet on Tatis is get a hit.
Oh, Tatis? Okay.
Wait, you can't do that?
Can you not do that anymore? Oh, he already has a hit. That's why.
Oh, he does. Bet that's good for me because I actually have that on sleeper.
Parlay double dipping.
Yeah, I got him 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. So I guess he needs one more. And then Jason Tatum, 25 points.
And then while we're recapping, I'm gonna hand this over to you because I don't know too much about it, but I know you probably know a little bit more about me. Do you have any recaps from all the college baseball tournaments that were going on over the weekend? Anything you wanted to cover on it?
Oh, I do actually. I
Okay.
do. I do. I do. My alum, ECU, they tried to stop someone. I don't know his name. I can pull it up, but I ain't going to. They tried to stop this dude from using megaphones. They use megaphones in the jungle, like scream and yell. They've always done it. They tried to make this dude stop. He's got like 3 of them, bro. They're sick. Here, I'll pull it up for you. But the AAC and ECU put their foot down and went insane and got him to come back the very next day. Because you're not going to let these guys at these big schools like Vandy whistle, 2 of them, whistle whenever they want, during the play, during the pitch, all the time. But we can't use a megaphone in the outfield? Come on now. But look at these megaphones, bro. They're fire, bro. One second. Here we go. Where are they? Oh, but also we will be leading the Greenville region as the 16th seed.
Okay.
The last team to be hosting a regional, which is like God knows how many years in a row we've hosted a regional. But let me find. Here it is.
Wow.
So yeah,
You know who the favorite?
his name is Brian, and his name is Brian Dilday, and he's a super fan. That's him. And then let me find his. What were you saying though?
I was just pulling up the markets for the favorites, like the odds on the College World Series. You know
Yeah,
who are the co-favorites right now, right? Oh, word.
that's the megaphones. They're pretty sick.
Yeah.
Who's the co-favorite?
Tennessee and the Texas A&M both at plus 550.
Oh, you know what I got? What's
What?
ECU at?
Oh boy. ECU is at plus 6,000.
6,000? Wait.
Yeah. East Carolina Pirates, right?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me see what I got. I got 4,000. I'm gonna bet that back.
It's on FanDuel right now. College World Series 2024.
I'm just gonna ride my 4,000. That's what I
No.
took beginning of the year.
But then they got Arkansas at plus 900. You got Kentucky at plus 1,000.
What do you got LSU?
LSU's at plus 1,800. So they're actually in the top 10.
They're hot right now, bro.
That's what people have been telling me. LSU's bats are back.
Yeah, they sucked all year.
But then they got hot and into the tournament. I watched some of that game versus Tennessee yesterday. They almost stole it. But I did just want to highlight that while looking because they did have the selection today, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. Alabama made it too.
So I saw a few Virginia schools made it.
Yeah, one of them is VCU. They're Virginia school, right? Virginia Commonwealth.
Yeah.
They're in ECU's bracket, I think.
Oh damn, man! If y'all lost to VCU, you never hearing the end of it from me. I got homies there. Who
beat
went
them
there?
before. We got Wake Forest. Let me see who's in there again.
You know, Wake Forest has got the 5th best odds to win, right? The title.
Yeah, it's us, Wake Forest, as a 2 seed, VCU, and UE, Evansville.
So Wake Forest coming out of that region. Okay, I see.
We play Evansville first.
And then the Wake Forest plays.
Wake Forest will lose to VCU first. So
You want me to have to cheer for that, but I should be a hater and to say Wake Forest is going to take that one, and then they're going to walk into ECU and handle business.
Family's been talking about getting down to Clearwater.
That's a super fan. Sorry guys, but yeah, I'm excited for that. The ECU, I mean not ECU, Alabama is in a region with Florida State. Let me check the Gainesville region.
Duke, I think, or is also in there.
I'm pull it up.
Oh wow, bro! You know you can already start betting some of the Olympics.
I don't know how you pull it up. Hey,
Huh?
but Alabama softball team made it too.
They beat Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
You can bet on, man. See, knowing how hot right now, and these odds make sense. The PDC World Championship for darts, because I've been looking into this a little bit myself, and what I realized is they have like a group betting, and those top two odds are justified in my opinion. Van Guren's okay, but Luke Humphreys and Luke Litter, that 17-year-old, he's talented, man. They got, but there's a reason there's a 17-year-old that's a favorite at plus 250. That's something to look out for all our folks across the pond.
I like it. I like it. But I found it. Alabama's in there with Florida State. It's like Gainesville. It's Tallahassee. UCF and I don't know who it is. It Swanee? Isn't that a team that used to be in the SEC back in the day?
Who?
Or I'm being bugging. I don't know who it is. We ain't gotta do that.
Alright, but now moving into the current, the right now, the future. Where should we start off? You want to start with the combat sports, the basketball tonight, the hockey? Where you want to go?
For what?
I said for the current. Now we done with the recap. You want to start with the combat sports, the hockey tonight, the basketball? What do you want to start with?
It don't matter. Combat.
All right, let's go into the combat sports. Just because I already have the app up now, I'm gonna start with boxing because it's gonna be a lot easier with the app open. Because there is some big fights coming up. The main thing is on this Saturday you're gonna have Filip Hrgović versus Daniel Dubois for the IBF heavyweight championship, if I'm not mistaken. Unless Usyk is able to get his exemption because Usyk is his mandatory. Usyk is sitting at minus 240 right now. I think he's the favorite, and here's my way of recommending how you bet. If you want to go, will this fight go to distance? You're going to want to bet Usyk for this fight to go to distance. If you're going to bet knockout, take Dubois. Because Dubois, if he wins, will be by knockout. There's a reason his odds are plus 340 for a knockout win versus him winning on points or decision is plus 750. There's a reason the odds are so different. If he wins, it's going to be by knockout. Usyk should win. If he's going to win, it could probably happen either way, to be honest. Now, he's minus 110 for knockout KO, so he might get a KO. It's heavyweight. But at the end of the day, Dubois, if you're going to bet him as a straight for KO TKO. If you're going to bet Usyk, I'd take his money line and use it as a parlay builder, and then maybe you're going to build a lay of a couple fighters for that fight, because that's a big fight, and it could go either way, in my personal opinion, when it comes to the knockout aspect. But you're going to get more protection if you take Usyk money line because he's minus 240.
All right.
And then moving on, we don't even have to cover the Bivol fight because Bivol is going to stomp through the stand-in for Bernabiev. It was supposed to be Bernabiev, so I'm not even going to cover it. Moving on to the Deontay Wilder versus Zhilei Zhang. Here's my opinion on this, because I don't think Zhilei Zhang has the overall stamina to go 12 rounds. I don't. And win the fight on top of it versus someone like Wilder. I'm not saying Wilder's an excellent boxer. He's kind of the opposite of that. He's the one-punch boxer. But Wilder actually has stamina in that ring. The only problem is Tyson Fury knocked him around a couple times. His chin got hit. Then he lost this fight to Joseph Parker that he had at the end of the year last year. It's just not looking good for Wilder. As much as I want to say have a chance in this fight, he's also halfway to retirement. So
What's up, Jay Witt?
no, but he's also halfway to retirement. So as much as I want to say that Wilder because of the Zhang stamina issue, because they both lost to Joseph Parker, both fighters, and watching how it happened earlier in the year, Parker just handled Wilder. Meanwhile, Zhang hit Parker, knocked him down, but after the fourth round, he wasn't doing squat, and Parker worked him and won the fight. So, I have my issues with both of these fighters. How I'll say this, let me see exactly. Let me see, will it go to distance? Yeah, will it go to distance is minus 430 for a reason. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of like Wilder TKO in this just because Zhang might gas out depending on what Wilder shows up, but Wilder's halfway to retirement, so it's kind of scary. That's the one thing with this. You never know, especially with the heavyweights, man. But
Wilder TKO.
It's like plus 185.
Yeah, I can't find it.
KO TKO plus 185. This fight should not go into a decision. It really shouldn't. It should this fight more than the one I just mentioned earlier in the two heavyweight fights. This one should really end in a knockout, one way or another, most definitely.
All right.
And those pretty much are the main. What were you about to say?
Anything else on boxing or moving on to?
I was about to say those were the main cards for those are the main boxing fights for Saturday. So we're gonna move into the UFC now. Pulling up UFC. Let me get it up right here on my app.
Sean Strickland minus 240.
This is what I was telling you about earlier, bro. I think we previewed this a little bit on our show last week. Strickland.
Holland minus 265.
I like Holland. I think he should win that fight. But when it comes to Strickland, he's fighting Paulo Costa, who he's not like terrible. He's just inconsistent. Like sometimes he shows up. Like for example, Robert Whittaker is probably still one of the best fighters at 185 and probably beats Sean Strickland. And Robert Whittaker almost got KO'd Paulo Costa. If Costa has 5 more seconds after landing that head kick before the whistle blows, or if he has like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, he probably finishes Robert Whittaker right then and there. But Whittaker ate a head kick, survived it, and won the next 2 rounds. So that's what makes it tricky, because if Costa lands a shot on Strickland, we've seen it times and times in the past. Strickland, if he gets hit in the right spot, night, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that scares me about when you see Sean Strickland at minus 240.
Or minus
245. He's probably getting good movement, but brother, prime example of movement doesn't matter as much in UFC and boxing. Brother, Tyson Fury was getting the best movement all fucking last week. He still lost. Brother, you know who else was getting good movement? Benoit Saint Denis, and we watched him get KO'd by Dustin Poirier 2 fights ago. You remember that one? That's probably the most coverage we've ever given to a fight. That fight, and of course Dustin's back this week, so we got a whole nother Dustin coverage to cover. But yeah, man, that's why it's like I don't care about movement when it comes to the odds on fights, because that's just people don't know stuff when it comes to fights. You can't look at some of these stats the way you can in basketball or in baseball or hockey. You can't, because at the end of the day, it comes down to heart with some of these fighting stuff.
I feel you.
But moving on to the UFC, Almeida's probably gonna win versus Romanov, in my opinion. Let me double check that on a different app. Give me a second. I just hate that he's minus 300, man. That's terrible. Yeah, that's at heavyweight, dog, man. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, this brother lost to Tybura? Oh, nah. He's a Correa heavyweight. Oh, nah. Yeah, they're putting up Almeida versus Correa heavyweight. Book Almeida, man. You need parlay to book Almeida, bro. He's minus 280, minus 290. He's not that good of odds. If you're building a parlay, man, book Almeida. He's fighting a Correa fighter, man. He's fighting a Correa
Caesar?
fighter. He's fighting Alexander Romanov. As soon as I see you lose to Martin Tybura, bro, you are a Correa fighter.
All right, man.
Huh? Yeah, as soon as I seen you,
Jalton.
Jalton Almeida, man. Yeah, he got fraud checked by Curtis Blade in the last time we talked about him, but this is a good spot for him, man. I think he'd be alright. And then, do I have any thoughts on this Randy Brown fight? At welterweight. Oh, he got subbed by JDM. Okay, okay. This is the homie that beat the you know what out of Benoit Saint Denis a couple of years back. Ah, interesting. Homie only fights like once a year. No, we're staying off that fight, man. That's not worth it. The Randy Brown might win, but it's not worth it, man. It's not. And then covering the main event, brother. This is what I'm gonna tell you.
What you got?
With the odds being so wide, with Islam being minus 670, your best bet if you're gonna bet on Islam for this fight is Islam by submission, in my opinion, personally. Plus 100. Because Islam can win in a lot of ways. One of the most fighters. He can win on points. He could land I doubt he's landing a knockout on Dustin Poirier, but he could. But the most likely way is him getting him on the ground and submitting him, most likely. And Islam being plus 100, that's a very, very solid option. There's a reason out of all of Dustin's finishes, my KO TKO is plus 700, and the other one are in the plus 1,000s because Dustin's winning this fight. He's probably gonna have to KO Islam. That's the only way he can win this fight, in my opinion. I don't think he's gonna win on points, and he's not submitting Islam, in my opinion. Islam's too versatile. Islam is if Khabib could strike. He's not as good mauling as Khabib on the ground. Don't get me wrong, but he's much better. He's a much better striker than Khabib. So when he doesn't have to have, it's such a better striker. He doesn't have to have nearly as much of the grappling brute force that Khabib showed and used when he would just get people on the ground and just ragdoll them. Islam can do that, but it's not to the same effect, and his striking's way better. He's just a more complete fighter, in my personal opinion. That doesn't mean he's better, because that one skill Khabib had, the maul people, was vicious. He went undefeated off it. But Islam might be more complete, most definitely. Most definitely. And that's why I don't see. I think your best bet in this fight is the Islam by submission, because I don't think he's losing, personally. If you want to bet Dustin, bet the KO, because you're going to get better odds than betting him money line. So you might as well get the plus 700.
I'm cooking right now, but I'm listening to you. Yeah, because I was looking at it. It's -6. It's like
minus 670. So if you're going to bet anything with Islam's going to be plus 100 in the submission, in my personal opinion.
All right. So what's the to finish by finish or whatever it is, to win by finish? You know what I'm talking about? No. When you could do KO, TKO, or submission.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I have. You talking about like the double chance? Give me a second. So yeah, I mean, if you bet, if you're gonna bet him, Islam at KO or submission is minus 230. Islam at submission or points is minus 190. And then Islam at KO or points is plus 130. I wouldn't do KO or points. You're going to want to have a submission option in there just because he could definitely submit Dustin. But yeah, if you're looking on a book like FanDuel, you can see that on Double Chance.
Bro, they playing games with me on DraftKings right now.
What are they doing?
Let me find it. They won't let me put in Miles Turner points, rebounds, and assists. Should I do points, rebounds?
Yeah, I don't think the assist will make a huge difference. So it might not be too bad.
It's not that much. So I think I cooked something.
Okay, shoot. What is it?
TJ McConnell over 25 points and rebounds.
No
He has
assist?
no assists.
Okay.
Wait, assists. Yeah, it is assists. My
You would
bad.
have gotten finessed if it wasn't, brother.
My bad.
I was like,
And
25
TJ McConnell
points, rebounds. What was it?
1-3. TJ McConnell.
Okay. He's a horrible 3-point shooter, but sometimes he hits one.
But he's hit the games he's shot, he's hit it. So I just looked at the stats. 1 second. And then old boy Miles Turner over 25.5 points and rebounds. Plus 310.
Okay. Nice little no sweat. But since you brought it up, let's cover that game right now. Game 4 tonight, Boston, Indiana. You got Boston sitting at open at like 6.5, if I'm not mistaken, and now they moved to 7.5, right?
Yeah.
So it's moving in there. I think they're gonna get the sweep tonight. I think it's over for Indiana. This is game 3. I don't think they're gonna come out for game 4. The Celtics are a machine at this point. I hate to admit it, but they're just a oiled machine. Probably one of the best teams in this modern generation we've seen constructed by Brad Stevens. If we're really going to talk about it now on the cusp of their NBA Finals appearance, you got Derek White. Think about this. Think about this team build. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are the most switchable and versatile defenders in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
So you just add Derek White and Drew Holiday to that, who are both the all-defensive second team this year. And Drew Holiday is one of the, if not the best guard defender for the past 5 years. It's him or Marcus Smart, and Drew's been doing it more consistently and has a ring to his name for it. So when you combine that, I didn't even mention Kristaps Porzingis on the floor right now. Al Horford's been earning that money even more recently because of the way he's been playing. But you know the running joke. You bet on Al, and he did you dirty.
Yeah, I saw someone betting on Al tonight. I can't do it.
You can't take no unders on Al.
It wasn't money. It was.
If he would have got you again, you wouldn't have never lived it down.
I ain't doing it.
But yeah, just overall, just the Celtics this team is one of the best designed. They won 64 games this year, and it's not like when the Suns won 64 games. They won 64 games and they proceeded to only drop one playoff game in the past 2 series, and they haven't dropped one yet this series. So walking into the finals, they would have only dropped 2 playoff games and won 12. So yeah, this is a different level of domination that we've seen in a while. Now the East is incredibly banged up this year. It's not as strong as the West in my opinion, but that doesn't change the fact that they've only lost 2 games. So if they do sweep tonight and they got till June 6th, expect Kristaps back game 1, and the Mavs are going to have to hope they close out without Lively and get this done quick, because if they need as much rest as they can to focus on Lively, just get better for that.
Yeah, Lively's a bum.
Oh my gosh. We're not. Oh my gosh, Parlay. He got kneed in the back of the head.
Yeah, he couldn't get back in because he got kneed in the back of the head. What a bum.
Blame your boy Cat, the one you stand up for in the show all the time. He kneed him in the back of the head.
Don't blame him for nothing. He got his points.
He went 0 for 3 from 8-3. What do you mean? He's a bum.
I didn't have him.
Look at his face change. Look at his face change. He's the bum. That's the bum. Not the guy who got kneed in the back of the head and had to get carried off the floor, Parlay.
Bro, I was looking for him.
Bro, I was looking for him. Bro, he got kneed in the back of the head.
And then Nickeil Alexander Weiss or whatever his name is.
Why are you betting on Nickeil Alexander Walker, bro? Whoa. He's having a horrible playoffs.
They took him out and he missed it by half a point. I missed plus 500 by half a point.
Jeez. Tripping.
And PJ Washington only had to get half a point. And then he got that easily. So the first part, yeah.
PJ Washington's been hooping, though, to give him his credit. PJ Washington's definitely been hooping.
Yeah, he has.
Oh, and then let me ask you to do one last check, because we're about. Let me pull this up. Right now, we're about an hour, a little bit under an hour from game time. You won't mind checking the lines on that Stars Oilers game to see if something's changed?
1 second. Nothing.
So you want to explain what we're talking about now, Parlay? Isn't this an interesting situation? I brought it up earlier in the show that we're going to come back to this.
Yeah, they're
There's
not showing
been
the money.
You can't find the money on this game where depending on where you're looking. A lot of people holding it depending on the books. It The reason why it's so interesting to me is because the
Can't you
Oilers.
see it on DraftKings?
Oh, hold up, give me a second. I think I know what you mean.
Can't you?
I don't know if you can see it on DraftKings. You might be able to see it on.
Can you see it on ESPN?
How it moved, bro? It said it opened at 1:30 and it moved, and it's still at It said it opened at 1:30, dropped to -125. That's all information I needed to see. And it just dropped to 126 on. Yeah, I'm betting on it. We're locking in my pick tonight. I'm taking the Stars. That's all I needed to see.
Who
Stars money line.
scores tonight?
For who?
Anyone.
If I'm thinking of the Oilers have had a. The
Nick
only thing that
Drotzel?
scares- He burned us the last time, and your recommendation was right last time. We didn't go with it. It was Zach Hyman. I took mental note of that. I'm not saying Hyman's gonna score tonight, but those tip-ins do add up.
I got a plus 100 to add to anyone.
As a boost.
Yeah, let me check FanDuel. What FanDuel has?
I'd look into maybe like someone like. Dude doesn't even score that much right now. McDavid scored last game, but he's known for his assist. I mean, not last game, game before last. Because that's the thing. The last game, these games, the past two games, there's not been that many goals in this series. I think it was 3-2 game one, 3-1 game two. So 9 goals in 2 games, not a whole lot, but a decent amount. And the Oilers, they scored a couple goals with their top line, but they also have 2 depth goals, which makes it incredibly harder to predict exactly where the goals are going to go. And with saying that, you could look at the good old truthful Zach Hyman, 50-plus goals this season with crazy tip-ins. Draisaitl is going to be still maybe a potential bet because he still gets the look on the power play. McDavid only really scores when he has to, when they need a goal, in my personal opinion. He doesn't really look to shoot this year like he last year. Like last year, he led the NHL in scoring because he was looking to shoot. This year, he's not looking to shoot anymore. And he only did that for 1 year. He usually is never looking to shoot. But last year, he decided to look to shoot, scored almost 60-something goals. So when the best player in the world looks to shoot, he can score. He's not looking to shoot unless they have to score, which he did in Game 1 to win the game. I'd probably, if you're going to take any goal scorer, I'd probably bet, if you're going to bet from the Oilers, bet Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Zach Hyman, or Leon Draisaitl. If you're going to bet the Stars, Wyatt Johnston's a good option. Yeah, Wyatt Johnston's a good option, if in my personal opinion, pulling up the Stars for the playoffs. Yeah, Jason Robinson's okay. No, yeah, Wyatt Johnston's the best option. 7 goals in the playoffs, man. Jamie Benn's okay. He has 4. Sagan's all right. He has 5. But Johnston's been the guy for them when they needed something. He hasn't really had to go crazy since the Colorado series, but with them on the road tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes and clutches a goal and goes and scores on the road tonight. I really wouldn't be surprised. But he's also gotten a lot of more attention since he went crazy in the first 2 rounds. He's been getting the first line minutes defender against him, almost like top line defense.
All right, I can get that up to 285. So I'm about to move money from FanDuel over.
Okay.
And put that in.
Has there been any movement for you on that Florida Panthers game versus the Rangers tomorrow?
Let me pull it up.
Because the books are trying to tell you something. They opened up Florida at -150. yesterday lost. They're opening them up at minus 170 for tomorrow already.
Yeah, I see him at 170.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna keep it a stack. The Panthers probably do tie it up, especially because it's at home. But I don't know if they're gonna win that series anymore. Like I was saying earlier, it just looks like the Rangers. I'm not saying the Rangers have their number in terms of, but the Panthers. Like, let me put it to you this way: I watched the full game 3 and sat down. The Panthers at home had the ice tilted in their favor. They got all the calls. They were beating up on Shesterkin, but at the end of the day, Igor is one of the best goalies in the league, and is probably right now at this point in the day and age, disregarding system of the team and how they play, and it's more talented than Bobrovsky right now, and it's showing because he's just outclassing him in net. So when you account for that, I don't think they're going to win this series. I think that it might go 7. It definitely could go 7. I think the Panthers get game 4 at home, tie it up, but I don't know if they'll win it, and that's a big difference because that's going to shape if the Panthers aren't winning it. If the Stars handle the Oilers in 5-6 games, bro, and the Rangers and the Florida have to beat up on each other, yeah, the Stars are winning the ship this year easily. They're winning the Cup easily. They have the deepest roster in the NHL right now. That's obviously still left, but deepest roster in the NHL right now. It's scary. It's ridiculous.
All right, man. I'm gonna do Wyatt Johnson.
Yeah, Wyatt Johnson's probably their best goal scorer for the Dallas Stars, yeah. Top 5 in the NHL in goals during the playoffs. The only other option you could bet on is Zach Hyman, who has now. I will say this. Zach Hyman does have 12 goals in 14 playoff games so far.
All right, bet. We got it in. Now I gotta go. I didn't put in that bet for the NBA, so I gotta put that in. But other than that, you got anything else?
I mean, nah, it was a slow day. It's Memorial Day. Most of the games already happened today, but we will have more UFC and boxing coverage on Thursday with the final predictions going into the weekend, as well as we will highlight the sports from the middle of the week. So, is that being said, do you have anything else, Parlay?
No, that's
With that
Matt.
being said, then, that's Parlay, man. We the Gritty Gamblers, and we'll see y'all on Thursday, man. Peace out.
Whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here